Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bound News Network. We're actually working on a very special weather forecast for you. As you can see, there's quite a bit of very heavy precipitation and weather disturbances in South Texas, actually all along going up the corridor of the plain states are actually undergoing severe weather at this time. You can see from the satellite here that there's just a significant amount of disturbance in the upper atmosphere as well as at the ground level. Just a lot of heavy, very saturating rain for the areas of Houston, Texas, Corpus Christi, College Station, anywhere in the area of South Texas, even all the way up to Dallas, anticipating additional weather and rainfall. It's actually a little bit more concentrated off the coast, so we've been seeing quite a few special marine events on the Doppler radar starting this morning. To residents of this area, please be advised of severe weather throughout the rest of the evening into tonight, possibly tornadoes. We did see several tornado alerts early this morning, and we'll actually discuss that as we take a closer look at the radar here. Here we have significant storms in the region of Corpus Christi. We can see from the satellite here that pretty much all of the southeastern section of Texas is just completely inundated with severe thunderstorm activity. What we actually have is that low pressure system that's kind of anchored just above in the southwest, and it's actually migrating towards, slowly evolving and migrating into the east. And with that, we have like a tornado alert there, actually just a little bit east of Falcon and Solinero. And it's just a severe amount of precipitation in the region. Any kind of severe thunderstorm activity in the region of McAllen as well as Brownsville, Texas, and even starting last night, we had severe flash flood alerts for the regions close to Corpus Christi as well as Laredo. So we're looking at hail size, ladies and gentlemen, between half of an inch to an inch thick. In some cases, some of the hail alerts that we saw were coming in at anywhere from as high as an inch and a half. And that is significant hail that could spell severe damage to cars, homes, property in the region, depending on the severity of the weather there. If we take a closer look, also we can see that you can actually see more severe weather around the region of Corpus Christi. Even we have several flash flood advisories in the region also. So that is definitely a major concern that we're taking a closer look at. Flash floods in the region of also El Campo, Victoria, Pleasanton, Floresville, and also you can see quite a few alerts as far as what's called Mesoscale Circulation, and those are of primary concern to the Weather Service simply because of the potential to turn into tornadoes and actually touch down, have funnel clouds that actually touch down at the ground, and that will spell a lot of severe weather disasters for the region. We're also taking a closer look at more keenly to what is actually happening as these storms start to evolve and work their way towards the northeast. Is that going to increase the chance of additional thunderstorms for the regions of central Louisiana as well as Arkansas? And we can just see that this is a very powerful cluster of cells that are in the region this morning for the southern Texas. And we're talking about saturation of rain anywhere from 2 inches to 3 inches per hour in a lot of these regions. And as we went through with the severe thunderstorms throughout the night, it seems like the National Weather Service started to issue more and more flash flood advisories simply because of this, the volume of the amount of rain that was coming down. We actually took a look on a special forecast model, what's called a precipitable water table, and we were able to see anywhere from 2 to 3 inches per hour were forecasted in certain areas with a lot of these severe thunderstorms that were actually making their way across. We can actually see also on the rainfall pane of this, we actually see severe thunderstorms just south of Corpus Christi, as far as severe rain, that is, to the tune of 2 to 3 inches per hour. We can actually tell by the color of the spots that are showing up on the radar. So blue is actually anywhere from 2.5 and up. So coupled with the fact that we have tornado advisories in the region also. So this is this very, very significant weather that's happening in the region, and we anticipate that it will continue throughout the night. One of the main criteria is for what's actually fueling a lot of this weather is, of course, the warm sea surface temperatures of the Gulf of Mexico. We mentioned it in previous forecasts, and we have seen that sea surface temperatures for the Gulf are actually coming in at anywhere from 77 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So we keep inching towards that 80-degree mark, and with that increase comes more severity of these storms. It seems that the storms are far more severe going into today, and we anticipate that they'll be more severe going into the later night. So do keep in mind that with the surface heating from solar surface heating, that will reduce any kind of capping that may inhibit any kind of severe thunderstorms from picking up throughout the night. So as always, we always caution our subscribers to be very, very concerned if you live in this area for nighttime tornadoes, because simply of the lack of visibility, and also depending on the increase the inhibition of lesser inhibition of capping going into the late night hours. Not only are you going to be worried about flash flooding, but you could also be worried about possible tornadoes touching down in the area. You can see that there is a low pressure system that's actually pivoted over the area of Utah, and that's going to make its way slowly across the continental United States, more into the southern plains. Some of the temperatures we're dealing with here: Fort Myers, Florida, 85 to 88 degrees; Atlanta, 81 degrees; Dallas, 71 degrees; Houston, 85; Umar, Arizona, 93 degrees; Las Vegas, Nevada, in the 80s, and also on the coast of California, mid-60s, and then we're taking a closer look at Seattle, Oregon area. That's on the cooler side. Those are still in the mid-50s, but if you take a closer look at the Northeast is in the mid-80s. So we are paying a lot more attention to what's actually happening across the continental United States now. In particular, too, we're taking a closer look at the evolution of the dew points. We can see from the dew point data that the saturation has now extended all the way up to the higher plain states, and with that said, higher plain states should anticipate heavier rainfall going into Friday and Saturday, and also they should also anticipate above normal temperatures for the regions of the Great Lakes, as well as the upper Mississippi Valley, as well as Michigan and Wisconsin. So here's another radar that we wanted to pay close attention to also. This is also in the region of Corpus Christi, and one of the things that we wanted to highlight was the special marine alerts that were along the coast. The reason why that's important is that a lot of times they're very, very severe weather out just like maybe 50 to 100 miles off the coast of Texas. And with that said, a lot of these severe thunderstorms off the coast, they will actually sprout up water spouts. And water spouts are particularly dangerous, especially when many people will actually get in their boat and retreat out away from the coast, thinking that they're chasing away from the storm, when they can have a water spout that can actually just surprise them out of the blue. And water spouts are powerful enough to actually flip over a marine craft. So they're definitely very deadly. Even if you're far away from land, water spouts are still very, very powerful because they are a cyclogenesis phenomenon, very, very powerful, and they can definitely whip up very, very quickly with very, very little surprise. Just like tornadoes can be a surprise element on the ground, they can be more so when you're out at sea. So we definitely wanted to pay a close advisory to the special orange, special marine alerts, especially for those who may be thinking that they're running away from the storm, when in fact they're actually cells off the coast, and they can be quite deadly as far as water spout formation. We're going to be monitoring the flash flood advisories throughout the entire day because we're dealing with super saturated ground now. Just as in the case with Lake Charles, only a day or the last 24 to 48 hours was dealing with severe flooding. They received rain from 6 to 12 inches or more in a very, very short period of time, which created a severe flash flooding event in the area of Lake Charles. And we anticipate that as we see more flash flooding advisories, we can see them here in the area of just south of Corpus Christi, and also south of Rockport, and also south of Riviera in Texas. It's going to be additional precipitation, increased rainfall in the region. So residents should be more concerned also about the possibility of damage as a result of flash flooding. We want to show you one element that we do take into consideration, which is the Cape energy. And we can see from the radar, from the forecast for the Cape, that we're dealing with Cape values in the range of 2,500 up to 3,500. A lot of the data that we found in that region, the Cape values were coming in 3,000 or higher. And with that said, that means that there's available energy for these thunderstorms to actually pick up, to actually thrive in the region, because there's a continuing influx of low-level moisture, and then coupled with the troughing and the upper level low that's in the area of the Four Corners as well as New Mexico, that is actually just increasing the likelihood of additional thunderstorms forming along that southeastern coast of Texas. But we anticipate throughout the entire day, simply because of all the different elements, that there will be ongoing rain throughout Friday. Rain will continue to be a threat throughout the day today into Thursday. We also see there's also a threat of excessive heat for the regions of the southeast. States such as Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi should be on a heat alert going into this week. Throughout next week also, we anticipate also that for the threats from the Storm Prediction Center, we're looking at for today enhanced marginal threats for the areas of Houston, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and also Lubbock. And of course, Lubbock is receiving additional rainfall on top of what they received only a few days ago, and also Amarillo, Texas. So we're definitely looking at several alerts going into the remainder of the day. As far as tomorrow, alerts will shift north to South Dakota, Wyoming, and Nebraska and Colorado. as we anticipate that a lot of that severe weather will start to migrate further up. And with that said, there will be a heating up trend where we'll see more warm anomalies in the region of the Great Lakes, as well as Michigan and Wisconsin, as far as more severe weather for the northern plain states. So we're actually going to continue to monitor the situation as far as tornadoes in the region of southern Texas,